Okay, so we are going to work on questioning strategies today, and our three questions, and the three question areas that we have are the right there questions, and that's things that you can just find in the text and say right there. Think and search, they're the things that we can read the text and kind of get the idea. It doesn't say exactly, but we read the text and we think about it and we kind of get the idea from the text. And on my own, which is something that it kind of relates to the text and links back to the text, but you can answer it using your own experience. So I will show you how we're going to do this. I'm going to read the passage first, and then I'm going to show you how I formulate questions. This passage is called Dog Cage, and it's important to look at the pictures. All right. This cage on wheels most likely housed a favorite pet dog of a Chinese nobleman. It exemplifies the extravagant wealth and fondness for exotic luxury items of the Qing dynasty court under Emperor Qianlong. For over 60, five-clawed dragons, symbols of the Chinese emperor, fill the blue and turquoise designs, created using complicated enamel technique called cloisonné. The finials on the top of the cage, the golden dragon decorations on the sides, and the studs in the shape of lion heads are bronze covered in gold. The small hook that projects from each lion's mouth once supported delicate silk curtains, providing a cozy place for the dog to sleep. White jade rings above and below the upright bars added to the opulence of this masterpiece. The word cloisonné is French and means walled enclosure. Using copper wires, small enclosed spaces were created on the surface of the object. They were then filled with different colors from metalled oxides mixed with glass paste, which hardened into enamel, then fired. Favorite colors included cobalt blue and turquoise. This technique was first imported from the Byzantine Empire to China in the 15th century during the Ming Dynasty. Emperor Qianlong made China one of the most powerful and wealthy countries in the world during his long reign from 1736 to 1795. A great patron of the arts, he commissioned countless lavish objects for imperial enjoyment. Qianlong was said to have loved cloisonné and established workshops that specialized in the process on his palace grounds in Beijing, where this kennel was probably made. So the questions that I have for here, my example of a right there question is, what does cloisonné mean? It says right here at the top of the second paragraph, very first line in the second paragraph, the word for cloisonné is French and means walled enclosure. So someone who had this question could just say walled enclosure. That's what it means. My think and search question, this was kind of tough for me to find in here, and I think that this is the kind of question that's going to challenge us the most. So my think and search question was, how long might it have taken to make a cage like this? Because we see all the different steps that went into it, but it never really exactly says how long it took to make a cage like this. But we can see all the steps and all the different processes that had to be done in order to make this, and we can infer that it probably took a long time. And my example of an on my own question is, again, just thinking about this article and asking a question that maybe even if you didn't read the article, you could give some sort of an answer to it. So my question for that is, in what ways do people today spoil their pets, and how does it compare to this cage? So those are the 3 different kinds of questions. And I am going to have you read a different article that actually really relates to this. You're going to read an article about a reception hall where you might have, around the same time in the same part of the world, where you may have found one of these cages. So I'm going to pause recording and have you read that, and then I want you to try to write the questions, the right there, think and search, and on my own. And if you have any questions, you can ask me and I can guide you through it. Okay, so you have read the passage. What do you think? It's kind of easy, medium, a little challenging to come up with these questions.
It's a little challenging, man.
It's a little challenging? Yeah, I almost wish that we had been able to record some bits and pieces of that, because you had some good questions and we had some good conversation about it, and I think some really genuine learning took place, even though, considering you're not an actual student. So I think that's pretty cool. So can you share your questions that you came up with?
Sure. For my right there question, I went with, what do peaches symbolize?
So from this article, what do peaches symbolize? And where can you show me where it says that in the article?
They symbolize longevity.
It says peaches, which symbolize longevity. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. What else?
For my think and search question, I decided to go with, name 3 things here that might have impressed the guests.
Okay, 3 things in one of these rooms that may have been used to impress guests. Very neat. All right. And you're on my own question?
What rituals do we celebrate now that include ornate locations?
Okay. That's very good. Very good. The only advice I would give you here is just being really concise with our questioning. So what did peaches symbolize was kind of something that stood out to me. Even though I know that you're asking this in context of the article, so I would know that it's in context of the article. Maybe giving a little bit more information. Just what do peaches symbolize to the Chinese people during this time? And other than that, you did a really great job, and you asked so many great questions. And Pepper is currently not happy in her cage.
Not as fancy as
It's not. She's really upset having heard that.